Welcome to the Cougar Cast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and this is a place to get all the information on what's going on inside the athletic department at IU Kokomo. And joining us once again, it's my guy, Grant Patterson. He is one of the two assistant ADs at IUK. And Grant, the volleyball team went out to Omaha, Nebraska for a very big early season tournament.
Yeah, they've continued their gauntlet of a stretch to the non-conference schedule, really to begin their season. Obviously started off with a tough home loss to Bethel, a Bethel squad that really impressed to begin the year. Last weekend, 2 weekends ago, that is, they were in Fort Wayne up against some really solid competition, came away with a 3-1 weekend, just a little bit of a sour taste in their mouth after losing to Indiana Tech in the final match of the weekend. But this past weekend, Jay, a strong weekend depending on which match you're talking about. The Cougars finished up 2-2, started off the weekend with a really rough loss to a solid Dakota Wesleyan team that's receiving votes in the top 25 poll. Bounced back in a big way to sweep Benedictine, a team that's also receiving votes, and then sweep Hastings College. But then after falling behind 2-0 in the final match of the weekend against number 10 University of Providence out of Montana, the Cougs really found something in set 3, made a couple lineup changes, and something seemed to click, Jay. So they came back and almost completed the reverse sweep of the Argos, the number 10 ranked Argos of Providence, but ultimately fell short in 5. But that said a lot about this team. That's now twice that we've been down 2 sets and came back and forced a 5th set, the first being Marion, which we ended up winning. So I really think this team is just getting going. Obviously, they're only 9 matches into about a 30-match season, and we're just 1 weekend away from beginning non-conference play with this week's 2025 IU Kokomo Volleyball Invitational coming up.
Man, it seems like it's crazy to think about. We were talking about this in the summer about IU Kokomo hosting another invitational once again. And then Heather Hayes came on, talked about how it's bigger this year than it's ever been. And I'm excited thinking about it. I know in your seat, you're excited, maybe anxious to get this thing started.
Yeah, I'm ready to get this show on the road. Just it's a lot of work behind the scenes to get this thing going, but we have a great team here at IU Kokomo with our athletics department. It's really all hands on deck this week with our golf outing Thursday that we work hand in hand with the other side of the university on, and then our biggest volleyball tournament we've ever hosted in program history this Friday and Saturday. So an 8-team tournament. Every single match will be held on campus inside the Student Activities and Events Center. Not as much room for the fans, considering that we have to have 2 courts in the gym going at one time. So only half of the gym will be open to fans, but still plenty of room to come out and check out some high level volleyball. Like I said, 7 teams outside of IU Kokomo making the trip. IU East will be here, another River States Conference foe. Cumberland's in Campbellsville out of the prestigious Mid-South. You've got Bryan making the trip up from the Appalachian Conference in Tennessee, Madonna in Siena Heights from the WAC, and then IU South Bend from the CCAC. So really a diverse group of teams coming to town here this weekend, and I'm really excited to put on a good tournament along with the rest of our department and impress everybody and show what IUK has to offer.
I love hearing about that stuff and looking forward to watching the girls play this weekend. What times do they play?
Yeah, I know. I think I know all of them off the top of my head, Jay. So I know we play at 10 and 4:30. I think I told you on Friday, and then Saturday we're the first match both days. So Friday is 12 and 4:30, and then Saturday is 10 and 4:45, I believe. Is the schedule there for Saturday. So yeah, 4 different matches this weekend. We'll start off with arguably our toughest match of the weekend, Friday at noon against Cumberland's. I know that's the middle of the workday, but if you can't be there, tune in to IUKCougars.com. That's a Cumberland's team that enters the weekend undefeated still, receiving votes. They came into last year's IUK Volleyball Invitational. I don't know if they were undefeated, but they were really good at the time. Had only lost 1 match at the point, if any. So this is a team that is looking to avenge their loss that they took to IU Kokomo last year, and it was a dominant loss considering both teams came in as powers early in the year.
So we know that normally the games are streamed online.
Yeah.
Will both games, since there's 2 going on at a time, will all of them be streamed online?
Yeah, every single game will be streamed on time or streamed live online.
Hopefully it's on time.
Yeah, it better be on time. Besides the 1 minute delay, it better be on time. But yeah, every match will be streamed live on IUKCougars.com. You can check out our fan zone and go to IU Kokomo Sports Network from there. One thing to note is that the only match with play-by-play coverage will be IU Kokomo matches. So only 4 matches on the weekend will have play-by-play, but that shouldn't stop you from checking out some high-level volleyball for free online. Emphasis on free.
Speaking of high-level play, the soccer team had their home opener a week ago and started off in a big way with a 2-0 win.
Yeah, really good way to start the home slate and get things rolling after a season opening trip to Kansas that saw the Cougars go 0-1-1, a draw and a loss to a pair of solid teams out there in McPherson and Tabor. But IU Northwest, they're no slouch. They played us well last year. We had to eke out a road win with a late goal, I know, in last fall's match. This one started out strong for the Cougs after an opening corner kick or two from IU Northwest and the Red Hawks. IU Kokomo defender, emphasis on defender, Riley Walzak, she ended up scoring her first collegiate goal to give us a 1-0 lead. And it was honestly a really cool goal, kind of launched it over the goalkeeper's head from a good ways out, and beat her, caught her slipping on her position at the time. And that was awesome to see. Walzak, her twin sister's also a defender on the team. So to see those two celebrate together and the team come together as a whole was really good to see. And then from then on, it was really a Kylie Moore, we call her Tex, goalkeeper masterclass. She made 14 saves on the night. We ended up getting an insurance goal, if you will. That came via an own goal. Kaya Bogers went to launch a cross into the box, and the defender went to head it out of bounds, but fortunately for us, headed it into the back of her own net. So we ended up winning 2-0 there, but I can't say enough about how well Kylie Moore played. And as a result of her play, Jay, she earned River State's Conference Women's Soccer Defensive Player of the Week for her efforts last week, albeit with us only playing one match.
And is she the first soccer player to win an RSC award this year?
She is the first soccer player to win an award this year. And obviously, those listeners that tune in each and every week, you may remember that last year she was the first in program history to earn NAI Women's Soccer National Defensive Player of the Week. So she has a history of winning these weekly awards, and she's 1 for 2 so far this year. So I'm excited to see what she can do in her final year in net for the Cougs.
This seems like another big week for the Cougars, where you have the volleyball team hosting their own invitational Friday and Saturday. Tech's winning a conference award.
Yeah.
But then the tennis team starts play this week as well.
Yeah, it's a really busy week. Women's soccer's on the road Wednesday and Saturday against a Mid-South team and a Crossroads League team, 2 high-level conferences in the NAIA. Yeah, the women's tennis team, excited to see what they will accomplish under first-year head coach Judson Quinn. Excited to have Judson Quinn on board. He's currently a teacher, and he's the boys tennis coach at Western, making time to help us, and really I'm excited to see what he can do. It'll obviously be a fresh face with Christine Miller having led the program since the program's inception a few years ago, and she has done nothing but great things. But a new man at the helm of the program, and his first tournament at the helm will be this weekend's River State's Conference Fall Preview. That'll be held down in Evansville at the Wesselman Tennis Complex. So it's no slouch. One, I like that he's opening up against River State's conference teams, and yes, he's a college tennis player himself, so he knows a lot about how it works. But to be there with the high-level tennis coaches that we have in the conference and learn some of the ropes from them before we begin a non-conference slate next week, I believe. If it's not next week when that begins, it's in 2 weeks. So really excited about the future of our tennis program under Judson Quinn's leadership. Personally, I played against him or around the same time as him in high school, so I know what he's capable of on the court, and that makes me really excited to see what he can do with these ladies and how he can work to develop their games. So yeah, really excited about our tennis program kicking off the season this weekend.
There's more excitement around IUK right now as the men's and women's golf teams are going to be starting tournaments. I don't know if they're actually called tournaments.
Yeah, they are.
But starting tournaments later this week. So technically, I think it's next week when they are actually going to be started. But in a few days from now, the men's and women's golf teams will be starting their fall seasons as well. Yeah,
excited to see those two programs compete once again. Back for another year under Brandy Jones's leadership. She was obviously one of the best in program history as a golfer herself. So excited to see her continue to grow as a coach and with these ladies that she has on her squad. And then our second year for our men's golf co-head coaches in Pete Thatcher and Greg Clooney. So I'm really excited for both of those programs. We have media days coming up Wednesday night of this week, so excited to get their glamours, their action shots and stuff for all of my graphics use. I think tennis is coming up Thursday, so you know that these sports are right around the corner. As you said, women's golf, I think they're Sunday, Monday, and men's golf is Monday, Tuesday. So really, we've just been essentially a 2-sport show so far this season with volleyball and women's soccer. But another sport that kicks off this weekend is cross country, as they're at the Indiana Westland Twilight Invitational Friday night. So we have a lot of sports picking up the pace this weekend, Jay. It'll be nice to get back in the swing of things. I'm glad that everybody scheduled away matches and away stuff for this weekend, because as we mentioned earlier with the volleyball going on this weekend, we will have enough on our plate. But I'm super excited to see what our teams will accomplish this fall.
There was something I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, this past Saturday, the community 5K that the cross-country team put on. Did you hear anything from Josh about how that went?
I haven't spoken with Josh exactly. Spoke with some of his athletes, some of his former athletes, and I heard nothing but good things. So
Okay.
I'm super excited to hear more from the coaching staff about how that went. I saw some pictures from Olivia Newcomb out on social media. Those looked good and looked like we had a solid turnout, whether that be family, friends of current athletes, or just the community, as you talked about doing in the past. So I think it went well, Jay, but definitely need to touch base with Coach Colvin and Coach Fifeco.
One thing I want to hit on, because I know it's about a month out, but I don't want to gloss over it at all. Homecoming for volleyball, and then Cougar Chaos for basketball.
Yeah.
Could you hit on those one more time?
Yeah, Friday, October 3rd is homecoming. So we'll have a homecoming tailgate before the volleyball match. That volleyball match begins at 7 against the Eagles of Midway University. The tailgate will go from, if I had to guess, I can't remember the time. My guess is it'd go from like 5:30 to 6:30, 5:30, 6:45. Immediately after the volleyball match, me and our team in the athletic department will tear down the volleyball nets, get it set up for basketball. Then we'll go straight into Cougar Chaos event around 9:30. The ideal time is 9. We will go into Cougar Chaos. So it's sort of like Division I programs do Midnight Madness. We're going to try our hand with Cougar Chaos, make it a little bit more of a larger scale event than it was last year, and get the athletic department more involved from a planning side of things instead of just relying on the two programs and their coaching staff. So excited to see what Alexa Roberts can do with that event. Obviously, I'm helping her out a little, Leanne, as well. But between us and alumni relations, I'm excited to see what we can do on October 3rd with homecoming, the homecoming volleyball match, and then Cougar Chaos for the men's and women's basketball programs.
It's a basketball event free.
Yep, the basketball event will be free, so you can just come for that if you'd like to later on in the night. But obviously, we encourage you. It's just $8 to get in. If kids 12 and under are free for the volleyball match, anyways. So just come out to the volleyball match and then kind of a chance to mingle around and meet some people for that 20 minutes to a half hour while we set up the gym for men's and women's basketball to take the floor with a little bit of a dunk contest, 3-point contest, and then haven't heard if the coaches plan on scrimmaging or not this year, but either way, it'll be a great time.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
For my sake, for your sake, for the fans, I definitely hope there's a scrimmage involved. It's fun to see that, especially after a Friday. You've worked, you may have gone out to eat. A little scrimmage is some nice entertainment at the end of the day.
My other thing is even if you want to spend your Friday night going to a high school football game, I know I touched with you and Brady on that. Even if you're spending your night not able to come to the volleyball match, come out before you head home for the night after that high school football game. Come into town if you're at a county school, or stay in town if you're with Kokomo. But come to campus, the SAEC, and just watch Cougar Chaos, and that may open your eyes to what our basketball programs are capable of. And heck, even seeing what level of athletes we have on our basketball programs may make you really intrigued with IU Kokomo athletics as a whole.
Did we forget anything?
I don't think so, Jay.
I'm surprised. Normally, there's something that has slipped through our minds.
The cross country caught my head at the last minute, or else I think it was going to be that. But I think we're all good.
That's my guy, Grant Patterson. He is one of the 2 assistant ADs at IUK. I am Jay Stevens, the host of the Cougar Cast. We'll see you next time.